mosquito got in. Not the mosquito.
Did I get him?
Oh.
Nope.
Get him.
No,
Oh.
you didn't get him.
Yeah.
No, he's right there.
And there's one on the wall
Nice.
behind you guys too.
What?
Not.
That's just dirt.
If that isn't the most Midwest opening we could have had. Crushing a mosquito.
There we go.
Got him.
That's Midwest married for you.
That's good.
Awesome.
A lot of practice.
Good teamwork.
Yeah.
Okay, kick us off, guys. This is your show.
Hey everyone. Thank you for joining on another episode of Midwest Married. Tonight, we have our two favorite Californians.
How many Californians do you know?
Like
Two.
3. Can't forget about Dad. So we got Justin with us tonight, and we have Morgan.
Hello.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm Amy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
Let's go.
Here we go.
Let's go. So
Today we are talking all about hygiene, which we were just like briefly bringing up the topic in the living room here before we were actually getting going. And we had a lot of different ideas about it. So I'm interested to see how this is going to go.
We are going to be in one today, you guys. Like if this episode goes anything like our conversation we kind of were warming up with, which we're going to share a lot of it because we want your takes on it too. But it's going to be nuts because hygiene has proven to be very personal.
Yes.
And no one has the same standards as another person.
And
Not
it's
even-
still challenging to this day.
Yeah. you know?
Somehow.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm like hijacking a little bit because I was baffled by, we started tonight's conversation about hygiene, talking about a few different things. And so I wrote down some of the questions. I also polled some of my two hot takes people who could be some of you out there. But we're going to kind of rapid fire through some hygiene type things and what you do, what we do. You know, we want to see it in the comments, compare, contrast, boo us, yay us. So the first one we talked about, and you had a question you really wanted to dive into on it, was washing your hands after you pee. Okay. Do you do it or do you not do it? Does it also depend on the sex you are and if you should wash your hands based on having certain pieces or not? So let's start with that one. Do you wash your hands after you pee?
I do.
Yes.
Every time.
Okay.
All right. Not every time here, but most of the time.
Okay. So we did have someone a part of this conversation earlier who identifies as male and does not wash his hands after he pees. Ever. And Matt, you kind of were posing an interesting
You were sitting
question.
on the fence, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm on
you
the
were,
fence.
You were kind of on the fence. What did you say about it? You were like, what's the difference?
I asked the question, what is the difference between a penis and an arm? Like if you get out of the shower at 8 a.m. and you have to pee at 8:30 and you've, touched your hands, you've touched your arm, you've like touched your face, you've done a whole deal, but then you have to go pee and you touch it. What is the difference? Like where are the facts in regards to like, do germs just exponentially, gravitate towards the penis?
Well,
That's
they
what
do
I wanna know.
thrive in warm, moist areas, and your groin is
Moist. Like that word.
is definitely one of those places.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't get very like damp down there throughout a work day sitting in the cube. So I don't know. Do I wash my hands when I go, use the restroom? Yes, because use a urinal, you got this thing called splatter. Like it happens, but depending on the toilet you're using, the type, right? The facilities, I think things
You
can
get
differ.
splatter on your hands? Where are you aiming? Up? Do you aim to the top?
You get splatter
No.
on your hands while you use a urinal?
No, but just in general, like, have you ever, like, in the summertime, because we're in the summer now, you ever wore sandals and gone to a urinal and peed?
That's way down there.
You feel it all over your legs?
Unless
from
they have
time
the
to time?
splash guard.
Okay, there you go. So it happens.
Yeah.
Why
On the
would you
hands.
ever use a urinal then? I don't
touching
want to
your
be
feet?
splashed on.
People
Ooh.
people just need to get comfortable sitting. People with penises, grow up, sit down. Sit down. You're going to have a way better time. Way better time. Sit down.
So that's my question. Do germs automatically get it,
For sure.
right to the penis?
100%.
Boom.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
No.
There's smegma down there. There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
I'm circumcised, so no, there's
You
no
can
smegma.
still have
There's
smegma.
Would you say after a long day, is your arm or that region going to smell worse?
Sure.
And why do you think it smells?
Yeah.
What creates smell?
Sweat,
Bacteria.
Yeah. That's why I said
My
not all
forearm
the time.
doesn't stink.
I said most of the time.
I just tested
right?
it. It's definitely different.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely different.
I don't know.
It's sometimes referred to as the third arm, but the third arm needs much more care than the other two.
Okay.
I'm not disagreeing with you after a long day that then things have changed.
Yeah.
But
Moral of the story.
Things have changed.
Wash your hands.
From when?
Wash your hands after you pee, please.
When people didn't have sinks?
from
And
8
soap?
from 8 in the morning till 6 o'clock at
The
night.
caveman ain't washing no hands.
So are you saying it's okay to not wash your hands between you just woke up and noon? Some people sweat a lot more than others. Someone could have sweaty balls on just a car ride to work.
I guess I just want to know the facts. I want to know the percentages. I want to know the numbers. And to be honest, it's puzzling because I can't find them. I can't search them.
Amy?
They're
I've
not.
got some.
Amy,
No.
what do you got down there?
Quick Google search says over half, 58% of U.S. adults say they always wash their hands with soap after going to the restroom at home.
Only 58%.
I mean, that's
That's
40.
about half.
Basically.
That's
40.
about half.
40%
Think about your
don't.
holiday get-togethers.
Well, we talk about this all the time on my podcast. On average, you touch 10 dicks a day. It's a thing.
Through other people not washing their hands, and then you wash the same door, or you touch the same doorknob or whatever.
Maybe a gas pump.
Unless you stay home, then hopefully it's maybe the
Just one
but
or
just
two.
10 times.
Yeah.
So a quarter, 25% say they wash with soap most of the time after a trip to the bathroom at home, while 10% do this some of the time, and 4% say they rarely do.
There's a rare case if I don't. Rare cases have happened recently, such as running inside, peeing, going straight back outside to
Horse.
keep doing horse stuff.
Yeah, that's acceptable.
I don't want to wash my hands 50 times because then they're going to dry out.
Yeah.
If you overwash your hands. So
I'm with you.
going outside and doing horsework, running inside,
Yeah.
running back out doesn't feel necessary.
That is true. Or rinsing it. Just doing a quick rinse instead of really being diligent with the soap.
You're building a
Yeah.
house. You've been playing in the mud all day. No need.
But if you're going to then come in and start touching
Cooking.
things and right,
Cooking.
then it's different.
I agree. You should absolutely, before you're going to
Touch
cook
any
food
food.
and then eat that food, you need to wash your hands.
Ooh.
Also, drying is a very important part of the process. It's actually a significant percentage of the cleaning, the washing and cleaning your hands is drying is significant to actually having them end up clean. And it's not using the blow dryers.
Blow
If you
dryers
use
are
That's what I was
those-
just going to
Yeah.
ask. Is there
if
a
there's-
difference?
Yes.
Yes.
They've done the studies.
The
I've seen many
Dyson ones
videos
that
on
you
it.
stick your hands in are so
Those
bad.
are bad. Or even the ones that just blow air. If there's not the paper towel,
Air dry.
you're better off using the air like this than you are using the air ones.
Is that because it
Significant.
just aerosolizes the bacteria?
Yeah, and it
into
all
the air,
builds up or something.
yeah.
not- You might as well not wash your hands in that case.
Yeah.
No.
Because then you're getting everyone else's, whatever going on.
Just wipe it on your pants.
Yeah, your pants are clean.
I prefer paper towel than the blowers, but that blows my mind.
You know what I miss? And these were probably just as dirty and maybe a Midwest thing. But remember those things they would have? You'd pull it down for a fresh towel and then wipe
Cloth.
it on the towel and then
the cloth
keep
ones.
rotating it through.
Those are strange. Yeah.
Those were
How does that
so
work?
nice.
Did
Because they rewash them. They take
just
them back and
rewash
they
them.
wash them.
Oh, so they're super long.
Yeah.
They're super long.
They're like wound up inside
They're wound
there.
Yeah, and then you
And
pull
then-
it down for
yeah.
a fresh one and then
Where's
wipe.
it going in the back?
It
has
winds
a
back up.
It rewinds.
It was the most.
Oh.
It was so great. It was so great. I
We still
love
have 'em.
those.
We still
Still
have 'em.
feels
I haven't
just
seen
a
'em in
little dirty
years.
somehow. I get it's clean, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't. There's something about, and something also wasteful about, but the single use,
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah,
jam.
I'm
In a
in.
public setting, yes.
Yeah.
Especially a public setting. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I found a Reddit story that I do have more questions to rapid fire to people, but I think we read this first Reddit story
Okay.
before we get into tactics regarding wiping.
Right, because
I'm
all
scared.
this was about just peeing first.
Just hand washing.
Yeah.
Just washing your hands.
So now we're on to the number twos.
Now we are on to the number 2.
Nice. I knew we'd have a poop episode.
Don't peek at my screen over there.
Yeah,
I
look at
see
these
you.
cheaters.
I see you.
Not a clue.
Okay, so if you went to the Two Hot Takes show live in, I believe, Boston or Philly,
It was somewhere out east.
somewhere out
Yeah.
east, you might have heard this story. And I'm sadly, I do feel an immense amount of pain where I feel like I'm giving up one of my children to you guys right now because it's so good. But here we go. Okay. This is coming from Am I the Asshole? It is 2 months old. It is titled, Am I the Asshole for Not Warning My Wife About My Ass Rag?
Okay.
Okay, context. My wife is weird about butt stuff. I'm not talking about sexual butt stuff. That's obviously personal and up to the individual. I mean, her unwillingness to acknowledge that anything comes out of butts or that people even have buttholes. When we bought our house, I wanted to install a bidet, but my wife was against it. I told her she doesn't have to use it, but she said just seeing it would gross her out. I mentioned not feeling clean just from wiping with paper, and she didn't understand. Not everyone has natural, hairless assholes that barely require wiping. She asked if I could find an alternative. I said I could use wet wipes, but they're not flushable. None of them are, by the way, so they'd have to go in the trash. She didn't like the idea of poopy things in the trash can and told me to figure something else out that she didn't have to know about. So onto my ass rag. I took an old towel, tore it up, and installed a discreet hook behind the toilet to hang the rag on. It's completely hidden. The way our bathroom is set up, we only have one. The sink is right next to the toilet. So I'm able to wet the rag, clean up, wash it in the sink, and hang it back up. I swap it out a couple of times a week. Gross? Maybe. But I figured that's my business since my wife did not want to hear about my butthole cleaning habits. Recently, my wife and I were showering together and she forgot to bring in a washcloth for herself. I don't use one. I use a sisal pouch with bar soap. I offered to hop out and grab her a washcloth, but she said, quote, "No, don't worry about it. I'll just use yours." And reached for my ass rag. I said, "You don't want to use that." She asked why. I said, "Just trust me." But she kept pushing. So I came clean about my ass rag. She was horrified, started dry heaving, and kicked me out of the shower. Apparently, she had been using it as a washcloth for years. Whenever she forgot hers, she would use it, which is often. What I don't get is how she thought that was my washcloth, because A, it's hidden behind the freaking toilet, and B, she knows I don't use a washcloth. We got into an argument. From my perspective, it was obvious that my ass rag wasn't a washcloth. All bets are off when you use someone else's shit without asking, and her butthole hang-up is interfering with my personal hygiene. From her perspective, I violated a clear boundary she set years ago, and I'm just an overall gross person. I did apologize, but I was upset and my apology wasn't really sincere. I'm sleeping on the couch right now to try and give her some space, but I'd like to know if I owe her a more sincere apology over this ass rag fiasco. I'm really not sure. And her reaction has me thinking that maybe I actually am disgusting and I'm lacking the perspective to see it. But I also don't think her butthole aversion is normal. And it's the main reason I ended up resorting to the ass rag solution in the first place and not telling her about it. So, am I the asshole?
I'm going to be so uncomfortable this entire time. He makes a lot of actually solid points.
I would say so.
Yes. As far as it being behind the toilet, like that's not a normal place to hang a washcloth at all.
Nope.
On a hook behind the toilet?
And it's
No.
not like one that she is ever replacing. So it's clearly then his, and they've had this whole discussion before. So I feel like she asked him not to tell her, like, hey, keep your business your business.
Yeah.
She did not want to know about his business. So, yeah, I don't think that he's the asshole. Is it different? Yep. I mean, his booty is probably very, very clean in comparison to a lot of other men's out there.
I would say.
Has been very thoughtful about which technique to use to keep himself clean. Personally, I'd just be like, get the wet wipes, throw them in the trash. It's true that none of them, even the flushable wipes, are flushable.
Nope.
I believe that.
I have questions.
Okay.
He washes it in the sink. So he takes a shit and then takes a wash rag and then wipes his butt.
So
Maybe after he's wiped and his right?
I was assuming there was toilet paper first, and then that was kind of a residual
It's a lot
experience.
of friction. It's a lot of friction. A
What
lot
if-
of exposure.
Maybe
to
he's
friction.
using Charmin.
Sure.
Dude's got hemis for sure.
That's great. But again, you're washing it in the sink. So like, is it really that clean? Like how?
Is there laundry
not-
detergent
I mean, what's
in the
different?
bathroom?
Well, yeah,
You're just
I mean, it's like
rinsing
rinsing it off because you've
rinsing,
gotten like,
yeah.
you know, the
The water
excess
heater better be turned
toilet
up
paper
real
off.
high.
Yeah. This seems, one, it's weird. And is it really hygiene to like put it behind the toilet? I'm not this just seems odd to me all around.
Yeah, it's definitely
And-
not.
And why would she
typical.
grab a washcloth that's hanging behind the toilet? There's not a lot of room behind a toilet,
Behind the
right?
toilet's not clean. It's dusty back
It's
there.
dusty and dirty and
Dusty.
and if you have kids, who knows what's behind there? A lot of pee. It goes everywhere. But that's besides the point.
All the more reason for everyone to just sit. Just sit.
Reduce the
Also,
splatter.
I just found out I have a friend. He's like, no, we don't let our boy, who is 4, 5 now, we don't let him stand.
Good.
He's not allowed to stand and pee.
I like it.
He
Sounds
has
kinda
to
nice.
sit.
I like it. That's any kids we have. They're gonna learn from the jump. You sit to pee.
I feel like anyone that would be super offended by that is like just, oh, macho, like I stand to pee no matter what because it's my manliness that tells
Yeah.
me I need to.
And we've just been like, you just do whatever you want, buddy. And we'll just clean it up.
Well, we highly encourage him to aim.
Yeah.
And pay attention. Pay attention.
Throw a Cheerio into the
attention.
toilet and like, shoot for that. It works.
That's
It
a good
works.
strategy. You know what you could do to encourage sitting? Tell him that his favorite person ever sits to pee.
Who's his favorite
Santa
person?
Claus?
No, he did declare
After
that,
today.
Justin, yes, you
Justin,
are his
after today,
favorite
it's you.
person.
So,
Yes.
well, all right. Well, if I'm in a public place and there are urinals, I'm using the urinal because exposure to a public toilet seat unnecessarily doesn't make sense to me.
He really thinks about this.
Why
Wow.
not? Why would you? Okay.
I agree.
So to avoid the splatter,
When I'm home,
apparently.
when I'm at places I'm like staying often, maybe when I'm here, a lot of times I will sit. And the reason I got into that habit is because no matter what, when you're standing, even if you have the best aim in the world, generally you got to clean stuff up. It happens. We can't control where water impacting water will go. And second of all, I think I got into the habit when my life got super crazy busy and we would be in these long sessions and it felt like my one break, because when you're the producer and you're up front and this guy's playing guitar and you're recording this and someone's doing vocals and then you're building out the track, and you don't really have the luxury of stepping away, especially when you're entertaining someone. And back before I got super comfortable, now I'm just like, hey, I gotta go take a phone call or whatever. I'm just gonna go make a snack or whatever. But before I was like, I need to be on the whole time this is happening. And so I would go, and always, that's when I really started sitting, and I would just sit and literally play a game on my phone. Not more than like 5 minutes, of course, because I don't want Hemis.
Right.
So I would make sure I wasn't sitting there forever, but I would go take a little break and sit on my phone, even a little bit after I was done peeing, just because it was a nice little mental break for me. And it's like doors closed, doors locked, and you're just, that's it. You're not like in the kitchen where someone can walk in, oh, boy, starting a conversation. You're locked off from everything. And that was like the mental break I needed. And I found it over time to be quite nice.
Well, and you know what? Technically, and according to a lot of studies, it is better for men to sit and pee. Sitting while urinating aids in muscle relaxation, benefiting men with tight pelvic floor muscles or symptoms of enlarged prostates. A 2014 study by researchers from the Department of Urology at Leidman University Medical Center found that men who sat down to pee were able to empty their bladders faster and more effectively. That's because when you stand, you activate muscles in your pelvis and spine, but they're completely relaxed when you sit.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So everyone should be sitting to pee.
I wonder if it also would reduce the rate of people fainting when they pee. There's
Wow.
it triggers a vasovagal response sometimes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I
can
wonder
see
if you're
that.
sitting, if that would be less. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you fall from sitting versus fall from standing, potential injury from that could be less.
Wow.
Yep. Way less way to go down.
It's apparently way better for the health of your pelvic floor muscles. When asking in Vice what percent of guys sit to pee, 40% of men said they sit to pee every time. 22% said most times. Sweden comes second in Europe with 50% of men saying they sit down all
It
or
all makes
most
sense.
of the time.
I'm 55%.
You're
Swedish.
There you go.
I just keep having all these callings back to the homeland. That's just,
When are we going?
I need to go.
Let's go take a trip.
Well, and also, I feel like we've all been there. Maybe not you guys, but we've been there where you pee and you're like, wow, I should have sit because I got a lot more coming, a lot more going on. So now you got to finish, turn around, sit down, and this is very inefficient. So the beauty of sitting and peeing is when you realize there's more that needs to happen.
Two birds, one stone,
You're just
baby.
there.
Sometimes they happen at the same time. Very efficient.
Very.
Okay, back to ass rag.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was your vote? Amy said not the asshole.
I wish I had remembered my just initial response to that story at the show. But of course, it's not the asshole. I just remember I had some kind of point about it that I'm not remembering now. But yeah, you should kind of have picked up that rag is for something, and it's clearly not.
Context
Like
clues.
my first thought would be something hanging there is it's like a cleaning rag for the bathroom.
That's what I would
and
assume.
it's got bleach on it, or it's used for something that I'm probably not going to want to introduce to my face.
I have the most sensitive skin. No way a random washcloth is going on my face.
No.
What's your vote?
Not the asshole. All right. It's weird to pick it from that spot and like take it and use it. it's a weird spot to put it in the first place. But what's her deal? Everybody poops, right? So
it's kind of like
allow your husband to take care of it. If you're in the sack and doing whatever, like you want it to be
clean. Yeah. In the sack.
Oh my God. I just,
In the sack.
ever since the bonfire we had out back, it just never leaves my mind. Danette, Morgan's mom, sitting out there and just going, well, let's talk about sex. And then we're talking about sex. And she's like, if anyone poops before any hanky-panky goes on, they have to shower.
Yeah, my mom is in general, everyone should shower before sex. That would be her hygiene.
Yeah, but
must.
she pointed out especially
if they poop.
after, yes. Yeah. And that replays in my head all the time.
Every time
and
after you poop.
If I shower and then I feel the urge, I'm like, oh God, I'm going to have to shower again. I'm going to have to shower twice. And I just showered.
My mom scarred you.
Yes. You know those things in life that are said to you or experienced, and at the time you don't think it's going to stick with you for the rest of your life. That is sticking with me. And it's just like, yes, it's infected my mind.
Top comment on this one. I see the problem. How are you supposed to warn her about something she doesn't want to know about? She could have asked, quote, hey, what's that washcloth behind the toilet? It's very unfortunate that she's been using your ass rag as a washcloth, but also it couldn't have been gross or anything since she had no problem using it. So clearly it didn't smell or have poop stains on it. I don't see much way around this whole extreme aversion to the knowledge that things come out of butts. I really hope y'all aren't planning on having kids without having a second toilet for you to use with a bidet or ass rag.
True. It's like Fear Factor.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one way to face your fear is unknowingly.
Yeah.
Nothing happened during the past X amount of months, weeks, years that you've been doing that. So you're fine.
Yeah. There are a lot of comments from OP basically highlighting that he does clean the ass rag in the sink each time with soap. Some of the comments have me thinking it's still gross. I think we both need to bend a little here. Hopefully she's calmed down a bit by tomorrow so we can try and figure out a compromise. I never really pushed back on the bidet thing, but a lot of these comments are giving me ideas on how to convince her.
We didn't talk about the bidet. I've been on trips with individuals that have utilized one.
Mm-hmm.
I never have.
Why? Experience life fully.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think I've ever had the opportunity.
I've never had the opportunity. Mm-mm.
Really?
No.
And it feels weird to me to use someone else's bidet. Like if they have a personal bidet in their home.
Yeah.
Like that feels weird to me.
I would actually like to know people's opinions on that. Like if you go over to a friend's house and they have a bidet, is it cool to use it?
100%. That's why they have them. One of the producers we work with in Nashville has one in the bathroom connected to the studio. It could definitely be up in their like master bedroom.
He doesn't want you in the studio smelling like shit.
Yeah, but my roommate was obsessed with bidets and had one, but he didn't have one where the only water hookup in that bathroom was the cold water. So my first experience was not pleasant. It was like Lake Superior, just right up there.
Oh, jeez.
And the other thought I have is after experiencing it, I get how it can be better than using dry toilet paper.
I kind of want one.
But at the same time, it still doesn't get to the level that you can do in a shower.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it I don't know the studies, but I don't feel it's as effective as people think it
Probably
is.
Better than just regular toilet paper.
100%, but it's somewhere in the middle.
And I don't know what's happened to toilet paper lately. That has gotten flaky. Costco changed their toilet paper. I'm the biggest Costco plugger. I should have a sponsorship by them already. Their toilet paper used to be so good, and it has gotten so bad lately. It's flaky. It chafes off on your ass, and I don't have hair back there. So I don't know why it's getting stuck to me. What happened? But a lot of toilet paper does that. and I think I want a bidet.
I don't have this problem.
We splurge. We get the nice Charmin toilet paper.
Charmin does it to me too. I can't do
Really?
Charmin. Mm-mm.
Morgan's a big Charmin
I'm a
hater.
big Charmin
Why?
hater. Hate
Yeah.
Charmin.
Why?
I think it's gross.
Tonight,
she thinks
when
it
you
gives
leave,
her
you just take this home
infections.
and-
Yeah, Charmin, we're not friends.
It gives you What does it give you?
I used to get UTIs from it.
Yeah.
We do have a comment from OP that the wife is very freaked out by the idea of her butthole getting squirted by the bidets. We've had to leave parties early because our friend has a bidet, and my wife said she was intimidated by it.
Why do you have to leave early? Isn't it like optional? Right? There's like a button.
Fully optional.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
not forced to use the bidet.
Yeah. She's
Something-
she's really
She thinks it'll
scared.
just go off.
No, OP even said, like, I think she's just too scared of assholes.
Did something happen that she has repressed in regards to her asshole?
Maybe.
I don't know.
It honestly reminds me of being in middle school when all the boys were like, "Oh, girls don't poop." They don't
Also,
poop."
we do have a
Remember
new
that?
detail. OP is also a woman.
Oh.
OP did not mention in the original post, and this was not in the comments when I read this at a live show. So OP
All
also
right.
a woman.
Okay.
Give the girl a bidet. Come on. Yeah.
Right. And honestly, it changes zero.
Yeah, I was like, I
Nothing
don't
for
think
me.
it-
It's
No.
the same.
It's the same.
We're not
same,
talking about
but
different hardware here. We never were. It's all the same, just cheeks and
Yeah.
stuff.
The whole deal.
Yeah. Well, I'm very curious. How do you guys usually wipe? Like, how do you clump your toilet paper when you wipe? Are you a clumper or a folder?
Pass that over here.
Clump.
So I usually,
Oh my God. That's
feel
like
like
you
it's
with
a little
floss.
I do.
That's why our toilets are having issues. Look at that. You got to break it up in smaller chunks. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I thought you were done.
That's how
no
you-
chance, dude.
That's how you wipe?
Yeah.
Okay, so
What do you do with that?
It's more of like
What do you do
a.
with what?
okay, this was,
that ball.
so I go like this. So
That's
I'm,
like a mistake.
this is what I create.
No.
Oh
no.
my God. That's why.
And then I wipe and then fold
No.
and then wipe again. Do
I
you,
feel like that's very similar.
yeah. You use less, I think
extremely wasteful.
I do think I need to use less toilet paper after watching all of you guys.
What do you
Well,
do?
need
What
a
is
good
wrong with
surface
this?
area to.
What is
avoid
wrong with
touching
You're
that?
your
definitely getting
hand.
poop on your
Yeah,
hands.
a
Definitely
million.
Definitely not. Never.
Oh, we need to do some samples, like where they swab your finger and see if there's any fecal matter.
There's
And then you're the one shaking everyone's hands. You go right, hey elevator, everyone at work.
Number
Boom,
one.
new deal. Here's some shit on your hand. Guaranteed.
no.
And the pen you used
Okay,
to sign the deal.
what are
is
you
now-
doing?
This is more accurate for me. And then wipe and then
Thank
fold
you.
and then
Okay,
wipe.
God, because that was.
It's hard when it's being rolled
I would
not from
say-
a thing, you know?
Is that
Also,
what you're
out
doing?
of context, it's like something that you just don't even think about doing. You just like
Wait, this is
do
weird.
it.
I need to
Right?
exactly.
not in
That's
position.
it.
It's kind of a
It's 3 squares, people.
kind of a this similar to
Okay.
her. Not folding. Hang on.
It's like toilet paper origami.
I need it to be like hung like
But
this.
you don't fold, Matt, right?
No.
You don't fold. You
No.
wipe once and put it back.
Down.
Do you look before you put it down?
Yeah, always.
Okay. Taylor, our brother, the other brother, doesn't look. He'll wipe and
You're
drop
for sure
instantly.
getting it under your fingernails.
No chance. Look at that ball.
Hmm.
You're like going like this.
Yeah, you really did crumple.
What do you? How do you force
Hardly
that
at
in there? It's
all.
like feeding a horse a treat.
Lies. All
What do you
lies.
flat hand it?
Toilet paper technique.
Well,
We gotta move.
on to our
How
next
did any of
story.
us learn, and how did we all evolve to this?
What do you do when your partner might not be wiping their ass at all?
That's a problem.
So
That's
this
divorce.
this next one is a little vintage. It's 4 years old, coming from relationship advice, titled "Help! I don't think my boyfriend is wiping his ass." My female 22 boyfriend, male 24, has lived with me for a few months, and he's always been decently clean. He doesn't ever smell bad, usually always showers after getting off of work, and keeps good general hygiene. Except recently, I started to notice it doesn't seem like he was using toilet paper when he pooped. First time I noticed was a couple of weeks ago when I had to pee really bad while he was showering. I knocked and asked to pee. I lifted the toilet lid and I noticed poop. I commented, quote, "Oh, I guess Amelia, my child, fake name, pooped." He then commented, quote, "Oh no, that was me. I forgot to flush." I didn't comment on not seeing TP on my quick glance at the toilet. I flushed the toilet, peed, washed my hands, and left the bathroom. Hadn't had any more incidents in the last couple of weeks, and it eventually just left my mind until the day before yesterday. He had told me that he had to poop earlier and had gone to the bathroom for a few minutes. Didn't think anything of it, just a normal human thing. Fast forward an hour or two later, and I go to use the restroom and notice there was no TP on the holder. I remembered that I had brought the used roll into the bedroom during a mental breakdown. I also noticed residue on the bottom of the toilet bowl. Weird, right? Curiosity got the best of me, so I checked to see if the container holding the TP had any opened rolls in them. None of them had been used. Okay. I then started freaking out. Why would he not wipe his ass? What's a good actual reason for not wiping your butt after you poop? I didn't want to seem obvious, so I've left it alone, but it's constantly bugging me. I then waited until he got in the shower, just curious if he was wiping in some mysterious way. But lo and behold, streaks in his dirty underwear in the basket. Fast forward to today. I got out of the shower and went to grab my towel off the rack and noticed 3 large yellow stripes down his towel. Fucking curiosity and concern got the best of me again. Oh no. I sniffed it.
Oh.
It doesn't smell clean, but it smells like a mix of tortilla chips and Fritos. I haven't said anything to him, but I'm extremely concerned. I've been really sick the last few weeks, and I've been trying to figure out why, and maybe I found out my answer. But now I really don't know how to bring it up. It's made me absolutely repulsed by him, and I feel bad for it. I can't just let this go because 1, it's gross. 2, I do absolutely love him. And 3, I don't even know how to tell him I'm breaking up with him for not wiping his ass. What do I do? How do I bring this up to him? I'm repulsed by feces to the point of vomiting and also really shy about sensitive subjects. I don't want to embarrass him, but I can't keep letting him do this. Please help.
At first, I was like, okay, well, maybe he's taking the toilet paper and putting it in the trash can because we went to Costa Rica this year and septic systems, they're not very good. So depending on how that person grew up, maybe they were wiping and putting it in the trash.
Yep.
That was hard for me. I didn't necessarily enjoy doing that and, utilizing it with other people. It was just not my favorite thing in the world, but Costa Rica, awesome. But this is bad. But maybe you just have a conversation and be like, hey, I've been doing the laundry lately and I've noticed some things and I'm a little disturbed. If you really love the guy, like really love him, it's got to be a lot of love there. Maybe it's worth working out. Maybe nobody taught him. I'm not sure, but it's fucked up.
It's pretty bad.
That is. She does say, though, that she is so in love with him. So if it is, you got to have those. This is like the first of your hard conversations that you're going to have for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. And so she needs to just bite the bullet and say, hey, I've noticed a few things. At first, I was like, well, maybe he just didn't because he was going to go in the shower. Because wasn't he like in the shower the first time?
The first time I was kind of like, maybe he just pooped and thought he wasn't.
He's going to clean better anyway in the shower.
It felt like a dry one, no residue to wipe. Hopped in the shower.
I'm going to be honest. That doesn't happen ever. Like very rarely.
You don't have dry poops?
Where you don't have to wipe? Like,
like
when you wipe and it's like, well, didn't have to do that at all. But no, once every 6 months, maybe once a year. I don't know.
Are you eating enough fiber?
Maybe he's just an
Probably not.
ace. Maybe he tried it for a few years and it was just realized he was wasting a bunch of paper and it's like, never need it, never will.
Every time I shit, I'm just going to take a shower and then wipe it over the bath towel.
Well, clearly he's not an ace because it's showing its signs. I will say, though, once I stopped eating dairy, which has been a few years now, more often than not, I could have not wiped and been fine. I will say that. It's just done, out, nothing. Maybe some molecules here and there, but they don't show up on toilet paper anyway, unless you use a microscope, I guess. But
Neat.
anyway, in this case, I would say my first inclination was maybe he never learned, like you said. And my second thought was you need to have the hard conversation, like you said, and just do it. We have so many write-ins and stories we read where it's the build-up to just building the confidence and the courage to just say it. And who knows, like a lot of the times, most of the stuff you worry about will never happen. And you don't know how he'll respond. But what you know right at this moment is this isn't how you want to live. This isn't what you want to do the rest of your life. So we're either going to say something and try and preserve the relationship, or we're going to leave. Other than that, I don't know what. I don't think you're going to wipe his ass for him.
No.
So we need to bring it up, and we need to decide how we move forward based on how he responds.
Yeah.
Did it say how long they had been together? Anywhere in there?
If you're doing each other's laundry, you've been together a minute.
They've lived together for a few months, but no mention of how long they've been in a relationship together.
All right, sure. So they've been living together. The weird thing is, like, how do you not smell if you have shit in your underwear?
That's not something you'd really smell unless you were going to give someone a rim job.
I don't... Really?
I mean, unless you're sticking
You
your
have poop in your pants?
I don't know. It's just a streak.
I feel like as soon as that layer would come off, it's
isn't it
there in the air.
Isn't it uncomfortable for
I feel like
him?
it'd be itchy.
Itchy?
Yeah. Would
It's
not
got to be
comfortable.
itchy.
Probably.
Maybe he doesn't like her brand of toilet paper. It gives him rashes or something.
Honestly, yeah.
Then
They're-
find a solution, dog. What are you doing?
Buy your own
know.
toilet paper.
Find a shit rag.
So there was
There you
one
go.
comment, a shit rag. Love a full circle moment. There's a comment from OP because people were asking maybe he's throwing the toilet paper in the trash because of a cultural thing. Our trash is empty and we don't have baby wipes in the bathroom. So it isn't even possible he flushes them. So, and yeah, and she's found poop now multiple times, no toilet paper. So it's kind of like,
Yeah,
would
like stop
see it.
forgetting to flush too.
yeah.
What's going on with that? We're
Yeah.
not a child anymore.
I
Double
know.
check.
I know everyone makes mistakes,
It-
but multiple
It happens.
times.
And yeah.
Sometimes the toilet doesn't work and you walk out confidently.
Especially if I'm in a public restroom.
Oh,
I
no.
always do a double check.
I always wait till it's
I like-
gone. Fully
All right.
gone. Fully gone.
Side note, have you ever gone into a public restroom and it's like not an opportunity to pick a different stall? You're in a solo bathroom and it's really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then you take it upon yourself to do some cleaning so the person behind you in line doesn't think it was you. Or are you confident
the
enough to
worst.
walk out and own it and not care?
I have fully stuck my hand in a public toilet with like toilet paper on like kind of like dangling to like clean marks.
So the next
I'm
person
not-
doesn't think it's
I'm not letting someone walk in there thinking like
Yes.
I left a mess.
I have never done that.
I've never done it for stranger shit. Let me clarify. I only
Okay.
do it for myself because
Okay.
I'm not
Sure.
going to leave a skid mark on a porcelain palace.
You don't just
bowl.
like leave it and just get the fuck out of
I
there.
will-
Like, poof,
I will
gone.
try. I'll try the double flush first, but then if it's still like, it's just.
I
Yeah.
feel like the older I get, the more I learn that I've never had a unique experience. That everyone else around me has had that same experience, no matter how weird it is.
I love it.
We all live the same life, period. And so I do a lot of driving. I put on like 30 to 35,000 miles a year. So I've seen some public bathrooms before. I will tell you. I've done some cleaning and it has not been right.
You like bring in some rubber gloves to those public bathrooms.
Like, how does shit get on the back of the toilet?
Oh
Like,
my
how
God.
Like
that's
near the
gross.
wall, kind of, right?
Yeah, like on the back of the porcelain where the tank
Yeah.
would be, or on the wall, or like you sit where you would sit, like on the back of the seat. Like,
Explosions.
and why on earth, if you were the person to do that, why are you not cleaning it up? Why are you leaving it for me? It's so bad.
I'm trying to find the picture. I recently had to go to a courthouse and I walked into the stall in the courthouse and was immediately blown away by a scene. It was terrible. And it was so bad, I actually had to delete the picture from my camera roll after I sent it to people because I was like, that is nuts. But
Oh,
This is what I'm talking about.
how?
I think this person, I don't want to put the picture on the YouTube to like gross a lot of you guys out, but it looks like this person attempted to squat because they didn't want to sit on the toilet seat and they pooped, but it shot straight out the back. So it went everywhere, you guys. And there's corn. I just noticed this in the picture.
Oh my God.
Those
Morgan.
There's
Janitors,
actually
those poor
there's
janitors.
actually
oh my goodness.
corn
There's
chunks
corn.
on the toilet seat. There's corn chunks.
Why are you zooming in?
It was Chipotle.
Oh
Had
my
to have
God,
been.
it was probably Chipotle that caused this. Wow. Back to this. Oh,
Why
you
do
go
we
ahead.
eat corn? Why?
It's so good though. It's so good.
To your point, if there was somebody else in that restroom, I would have walked out and been like, bro, it wasn't me, but good luck.
You have to
No.
say something.
I'm out.
You do.
I have walked like halfway into a stall, seen it, and turned around and been, nope, I'm going to wait for something else.
I always say it too out loud.
Yeah.
I'm like, nope. Like, so people know. Like, it wasn't me.
That's
It's
a bad
nope.
one.
See, but I'm saying when you're in line and there's like one bathroom and there's no
no alternative.
choosing anything else.
Oh my God.
And then there's no way to prove it wasn't you.
No.
You're just kind of stuck.
There's a bar in LA. It's called the Bungalow. And at one of their outside, like, they only have 1 or 2 bathrooms inside that are like real toilets. And the majority of their bathrooms are like outside in those like Coachella style, like trailer toilets. But there's only like 2 in there. Both of them broke and wouldn't flush anymore. So girls just kept peeing and pooping and peeing and pooping on like top of each other's
No.
stuff. It was horrifying.
Girls have some dirty bathrooms.
They do.
It's the worst bathroom I've ever been in.
They do.
Agreed.
Freshman girls dorm.
So the top comment on this
It's the
post
worst I've ever seen.
about back to wiping butts, top comment, I had to sit my ex-boyfriend down and tell him to please wash his dick better or I would not let him fuck me. The dude never washed it. Just figured it was clean enough with just water running down his body. It just wasn't. I said it in a respectful manner and started by just asking him if what he thought was the best way to clean his genital area. Might be a good icebreaker for you two. Good luck.
Not the same as an arm.
You should be cleaning all parts of your body with soap.
Yeah.
I think you could get away without washing your arm. Gotta be honest. Just like Morgan didn't wash her legs for years.
You know,
Okay,
your
let's get
ass
into
is
this.
one thing. And then if you're going to put your dick inside of somebody, that should be clean. Should be on both sides.
Same
Women,
as hugging someone with your arms. Your arms should be clean.
it's a little different though, right?
I know,
It's
but
a little different. Come on.
Do you guys wash your legs in the shower or do you let the soap run down?
I wash my legs in the shower.
I wash them as often as I shave them.
See, this was.
Do you
this
wash your
was-
feet?
If they are visibly dirty.
There's a lot of
don't go
soapy
and
water.
I don't know.
You just kind of swish them around.
I'm
This is
standing
new.
in a pool
This is-
of water.
20 some odd years and here we are. I wash my feet.
I don't have
Well, if
dirty
it hasn't
feet.
bothered you, I guess we're fine then.
I think that I would do really well in Europe. You know, people also, like, there's cultural differences.
Those Europeans are going to be fighting you.
I
They're
don't
like,
know.
we wash our feet.
You're in the...
They're calling out a whole continent.
I guess so. Okay, so what I have heard, and correct me if I'm wrong,
Okay.
what I've heard is that they feel that us over here in the US are way too like stringy picky about like how often we shower, and we overdo it with our hygiene, versus they're like, it's not healthy to shower every single day, so they don't shower every single day. I use soap in the shower, but no, I don't scrub my feet unless they are dirty.
Yeah. Like
Unless-
you walked outside in the mud.
I shave
There's
my toes.
invisible dirtiness.
Put socks on. Your
Dirtiness
feet
isn't-
sweat.
Yeah.
But you're literally standing in a puddle of water that is like
Soapy.
soapy.
And full of all the other germs coming off your body.
But then you just wash them and put them
Would
right
you
back
bathe in
down.
someone's
And
old
also-
shower water?
Matt and
No.
I share showers. We take baths together. So I guess.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if I went and just showered and over the few days I collected the water, would you go and bathe in it because it's just clean and it'll clean
No,
your
but I think that
apples
that
to
is-
oranges.
I don't think that's the same thing. And also, when you get out, you're walking on the floor, which is super dirty. So I don't think like the moment you get out, it's going to be.
It's not a sterile environment.
It's not
So
sterile.
why wash your hands when you pee if you touch a dirty door handle? It's all over the second you touch it.
Well, I'm
so
not using my feet to eat.
let's not clean anything. Let's just
Okay.
survivor it.
I guess.
So you are really into scrubbing your feet then?
He scrubs a lot.
Just
Like multiple rounds of
just like,
scrub.
No, just like when I sit to pee, a shower is one of the few breaks in my life that I get each day. I love showering. It is like going to the spa. And my mental health is tenfold when I get to shower each day. So if that's unhealthy for my body, my God, is it healthy for my mind?
I love you, Justin.
Mental
so
health
much.
is way better than whatever health effects I'm getting from showering every day.
Oh my God.
I feel like you're pretty well balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys level each other out.
I don't know. I also like to go camping. Like,
Yeah, no,
in
I'm gonna be honest.
Boundary waters,
I-
and I'm like way dirty at the end of those trips.
Yeah.
And
But
so
the feet will get cleaned by the water at the bottom of the
Justin,
tub.
I'm
Justin,
going to be honest.
I guess it
Justin,
has
I don't wash my
not-
feet a lot.
It has
Not
not.
every time. Most times. But
Yeah.
You get real dirty though. You're like out digging trenches, building our house and whatnot. I've
often.
seen your socks. That's probably
your
not,
socks.
I do your laundry. It's probably not a
building
bad
a house.
idea that
I'm
you
building a house.
are,
it's muddy.
washing your
All
feet.
of Morgan's socks are brown. Brown.
Well, our floors in our house are kind of dirty.
I just came to this realization. Don't buy white socks.
I love white socks though. They're so nice.
You know what? Black. I've moved on. I'm done buying white socks because they're just destroyed afterwards.
Well, this is
Black.
my sock today.
Brown.
Well,
Yeah, those are pretty
It's not
clean.
that bad.
that's not bad.
It's
Those,
not
are,
that
those
bad.
are bad.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like we need to ask everybody though. Do you scrub your feet in the shower?
Yeah.
Or
What
do you
does
just
scrub mean? Like,
You
I'm just
pick your
talking
foot up and
wash.
scrub.
Like, you wash your hands, wash
Like-
your feet.
Do you take a loofah and like?
And you-
No.
Do you take the silicone thing from Manscaped and?
No, I would use that on my body.
use
That's
it like with your hands?
Yeah.
You put soap on your hands and then you scrub your feet
Yeah.
with your hands?
But that brings up another interesting point of like hygiene. A lot of people use loofahs. We did have a hot take from a listener that said it's gross to just use your hands to wash. I think using loofahs are grosser because you have all those dead skin cells that build up and clog up inside of it.
And
don't
bacteria
you
that
just-
grow in loofahs.
Yeah.
This has been brought up before, and my question is: can't you just take the loofah, run it under hot water for a couple, like a minute, and just?
If that's the case, you could do that with the ass rag and it's fine.
I'm on board with that.
I feel like
I really am.
I feel like washcloth, like a washcloth, I feel like would retain a lot more. Loofah has like it's more airy. I don't know.
More holes for skin cells to build up in.
And fall out of when you're going to rinse it.
I don't know, dude.
I don't know. I want the stats. I tried.
Valiant
find out.
effort.
How clean are loofahs?
Okay.
Are loofahs hygienic? Despite a history of long-time usage, loofahs are not the healthiest shower accessory. Loofahs are usually kept in a warm, moist environment that harbors bacteria. Plus, poofs have all those tiny crevices that can hide where the bacteria is growing.
I want the percentage. I want real science, not these
Washcloths
hypotheticals.
can also harbor bacteria, but I think washcloths are still cleaner.
Okay.
You know what the cleanest is?
Your
Your
hand.
hand.
So this is actually an article from Lovely Skin. Should I use a loofah, washcloth, or hands to clean my skin? So this article is interesting. They break it down. They give pros and cons of each one, and then they give a final verdict. Washcloth verdict. Washcloth should be skipped for face cleaning. Loofah, final verdict. Really, the choice of a washcloth versus loofah comes down to your personal preference. If you choose loofah, Dr. Blah, blah, blah recommends reserving your shower loofah for body wash and washing your body using gently motions in circular manners while cleansing to avoid over exfoliating. Don't share your loofah with other family members and replace it every 3 to 4 weeks.
That's quite often.
That's
a lot of plastic in the
That's
landfill.
super wasteful. Super wasteful.
I'm feeling very hygienic.
The verdict for washing with your hands. Using your hands is perfectly fine as long as you wash them first to avoid spreading bacteria. I'm a hands person. I'm going to be honest. I use my hands.
She's in there for about 0.5 seconds and is like, oh, yep, cool and clean.
I don't-
You shower too long.
You do take
I'm like, it's my
really
one break.
long showers, but I also have a lot
Yeah.
less body hair than you. You really, you have to really lather.
I like long showers.
Get in there.
It's
Well, and then
very
we just heard-
relaxing.
It's my spa time.
We just heard how good it is for his mental health. So, yeah.
It's wonderful.
Okay, let's see if there's any other juicy hot takes from people. We have quite a few. This is a very heated thing. So I broached the question with listeners and I said, what is like your hygiene hot take? Like a gross one you've heard, like for example, it's okay to flush tampons, or what was my other example? Or guys don't need to wash their hands if they just pee. The majority of people that responded, wait, it's not okay to flush tampons, is quite concerning. Like quite concerning. That needs to be common knowledge
Yes.
at this point.
Don't flush tampons.
It ruins your septic system, and then eventually you're in
Also
for
just plumbing.
$30,000-$40,000 because shit's expensive.
Do
Hey,
you
it
know how-
provides work for the plumber, so.
Yeah,
Do you know how common it is though for guys to flush condoms?
I have heard that.
Guys flush condoms so much because they're so scared of girls getting it out of the trash and poking a hole,
Oh.
popping it up.
Wasn't
and
there that
squeezing it out.
rapper that one
I have a
time?
story.
That rapper that was sued because
Drake.
Oh, was
Hot
that Drake?
sauce.
Yeah, he put hot sauce in it, and then his partner tried to do that.
Yeah.
Had a terrible reaction to the hot sauce, and what came of that?
I honestly don't know.
Who won that.
I don't
I hope
know.
Drake did,
Don't know, but it worked.
because you should not be trying to impregnate yourself.
Was that story real? I mean, I know it made
It was
some
in the
news
news.
lines, but rumor? I'm not sure.
I have had a personal submission on my show, and someone did do it successfully.
Turkey basted.
Wow.
They turkey basted. So I know it can be done.
And the guy still never doesn't know. Still doesn't know.
Wow. I will say, when we were younger, sex was not very promoted within Amy's household pre-marriage, and we were definitely having it. And we had sex and had this condom, and it's like, what am I gonna do with this?
Yeah.
So like,
What'd you
wrapped
do
it
with
up,
it?
definitely flushed it down the toilet at that point in time in my life. It's like, we got to dispose of the evidence.
Why don't you take it home with
can't-
you?
What if it
Because I was
clogged and my dad
actually,
had to
like,
go and
staying
take the
at
toilet
Amy's
off
house at
Drew,
that
and
point in
he
time.
and he had to
found it.
find it
And he found
and then he'd be like, whose
You know?
is this?
Rookie
You'd have
move.
to say,
If it was Brent's.
yeah.
It was your brother's. It wasn't us.
Oh, wasn't us? Another one that's coming up that I'm kind of surprised by, and multiple people are actually saying this, like multiple. It's honestly gross that dudes don't dab it off with some TP after they pee. This next person, that some guys don't wipe after they pee. They only do a little shake. And I do think guys should take a square or two and dab the tip. I'm on board with that.
Why?
Because you're just dripping into your pants after you put it away.
No.
When I sit, I do.
Yeah.
When I'm standing in a urinal, it's not accessible. Obviously, take some liberties. But I've also had the experience where you're like, "Yep, good to go." Drop her back in, and then you just feel the most uncomfortable feeling in the world, which is the remainder of what is left is now trickling down inside and down the leg. Been there.
Ouch.
That just means that you weren't done. You needed to give it the one more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably in a rush, but it's not a good feeling.
Like you shake it. It's like the Good Charlotte song. We talked about it earlier.
That's why pee ends up everywhere. That's why when you walk up
shake
to your
it
urinal,
one
it's all
time,
wet on the
okay.
floor.
Shake it 2, it's fine. Shake it 3 times, you're playing with yourself. But
Yeah.
shake it as many times as you want until it's not dripping.
It's like a leaky faucet. It's just not.
It's not.
Here's what I'm kind of discovering. Like, between guys not washing their asses, like, all guys, you really need to spread the cheeks and get in there, when you're cleaning. And then between the not just TP on the tip, why are guys so scared of their own bodies?
What are you talking about? Nobody is scared.
You know what
of-
I mean? It feels like you're just not, like a lot of guys just aren't comfortable with their own bodies. They're scared of their buttholes. They're scared of touching the tip.
I mean, I'm not scared of it. I've just never thought of it as necessary.
I think you
I
guys
don't know
are,
if I
are
had
scared.
like boxers on and if I went pee and put it back in
Try
there.
it sometime. See if anything ends up on the toilet paper.
That's a good test.
Should we? Should we test that
I don't
theory?
need to. I already do it.
Yeah, what's a weed?
Only when you sit down.
Yeah,
He sits
because
down all
otherwise
the
you don't have
time.
access. I'm not going to use the urinal and then walk over to the stall. That's inefficient. Again, it's inefficient.
So like,
Also probably
I'm an
would be
efficient guy.
a little weird.
well, you go to bathrooms where there's a urinal and a toilet
Yes.
right next to each other.
Rarely, but then you'd have
Yes.
to walk with your pants down.
Right,
Kind of
that's
Yeah,
what.
you're
scuttle.
dripping
See,
on
that's
the floor
the
and shit,
vision
so-
that is.
Yeah, you'd
in
You're
my.
scuttle.
not taking your pants all the way down. It's
And that's like a
I'm-
penguin. Then
All right, you guys.
it might drip
This
on
is
you.
ridiculous.
What other hot takes do we have here from your people? I was seeing you scrolling.
It's okay to share razors.
Ooh, I think that's an actual health concern. Like what? If,
Yeah, blood. You cut
Yeah.
yourself a little nick.
Well, we've done that once.
We did share a razor once.
Like once.
Yeah.
But you guys
are
also know that
together. You know everything. It's not like
Yeah.
your HIV status, your
I
Hep
wouldn't
C
just
status,
jump into a shower
et
and be like,
cetera.
I'm going to use this razor that somebody used.
Like a roommate, even. Like you would just,
Right.
that's
That's too personal.
It's like
Yeah.
sharing someone's underwear in a way. Like I don't know. It's just too. It's probably worse.
Well,
it's probably worse.
probably worse.
I
Speaking-
did have to share someone's underwear once
That
in my
they
life.
were washed though.
Right. That's different.
They were
Yeah,
washed.
but
different.
still, it doesn't feel. I've had to in certain situations, and it still doesn't feel the best. Even though
Oh
they're
no!
clean.
Oh no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because the airline lost all my luggage, and I didn't know at that point in time because I was a baby that you're supposed to at least put a few pairs of underwear in your carry-on.
Always.
Don't
It's okay.
check all of your clothes.
Amy, I just went through this probably 2 months ago, and I had to wash my underwear in the hotel sink.
That
Because-
works.
because the airline kept my luggage.
That does work. Or
They did smell clean the next day.
you run to TJ Maxx.
Well, this
we were in
person
Mexico. I didn't
Oh.
really.
Walmart.
No, not in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get Walmart in Atlanta. They were all closed at 10 p.m.
Then the sink's your best option.
Sink was my
Sink.
best.
Good call.
Or as this person says, you can put your underwear inside out and wear it the next day.
No. Sink it. Why? Just sink.
Sink.
You can go commando overnight. You're fine.
Or
Sleep
just
naked.
don't wear any underwear.
Yeah.
I don't like going commando overnight.
I think like
I would
maybe-
in that situation, but
Yeah.
not
Desperate
comfortable.
times.
going commando, I know a lot of women that do it, but there's just a lot of natural discharge that happens for women throughout the day. So going commando just isn't the most comfortable.
No.
Discharge.
Discharge.
It's normal.
It's a good word.
It's completely normal unless it
No, I'm not saying it's not
smells
normal.
or is a
I'm just-
certain color.
I just see a rainbow, like discharge. Like it should pop
You're
up on the
embracing
screen.
you're embracing the term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we are.
I've been a
Just
flight.
like moist.
Oh my god, moist.
We are using all the words today.
Moisty discharge.
I've been a flight attendant for a while. I've seen a person shave their legs in their seat.
Oh no.
People not washing their kids after swimming because the chlorine kills germs and cleans the skin.
They're going to need some lotion.
Chlorine like dries out the skin. It's really bad for skin and hair. It's a chemical.
I've always
Rinse
wondered how
off.
swimmers do that, like competitive swimmers, like kids that were on swim team. You're in the pool for hours every single day.
Mm-hmm.
What does that do to you? Anything? I mean, Michael Phelps chilling.
If you have
Doesn't
eczema,
have,
it can
like-
make your eczema
I don't know.
worse.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
This next one is really interesting. My ex used to sit in our front yard and sun his nuts for health benefits. We lived on a corner and didn't have a fence.
No.
Have you ever?
He was like a voyager, right? Like, is that what they call them? Or who people who
It's like already
an
naturally tan.
exhibitionist.
right?
It's already naturally tan.
I'm
I think
googling
Health
sunning your
benefits.
nuts
It's
for
naturally
health reasons. Apparently, testicle tanning is a thing.
What?
Tanning. Someone asked, "Will tanning my balls increase testosterone?" It is a very big thing coming up. Testicular tanning. Is it good or bad for your balls? This is a hot topic right now.
Well, we'll have to give her a go tomorrow. Just out at the farm. I'll be
There-
out in the field.
I
There-
just am not sure how this mechanism.
According to Rena Malik, who is an MD, there is no scientific evidence available that suggests that tanning your scrotum or your testicles in any way is going to boost your testosterone. Wow.
I have to do some personal research.
We are busting myths.
That is one I have not ever heard. Ever.
It's like a place that's not supposed to see the sunlight ever.
Yes, along with your taint. But a lot of people do bleach to lighten. You know? What's wrong with the word taint? What?
I feel like I'm 13 years old.
I know. Do you guys, have you ever, I'll never forget this video. And this is, I think, what really made me self-conscious of my asshole. So there's a video from someone, and I think it was like a guy, and he may or may not be in social media right now getting like clocked for going on a Netflix reality show and just being super toxic. But I'm pretty sure it was him. And he was like, yeah, I was, having sex with this girl in doggy, and I looked at her butthole and I saw the hair and all the peach fuzz back there. So much peach fuzz around her butthole as I was in doggy. And I've always thought, like now, like, gosh, like maybe I should bleach it and make sure it's just completely hairless. Cause, just you don't want someone back there and they're just peach fuzz.
I think that's a him problem.
That's what I thought.
I think that's a him
And
problem.
why do we let people that we don't even know give us insecurities? I don't know. It's a question. Have you ever noticed any peach fuzz?
Don't answer. Do not answer that question
Well, you gotta tell me.
in private.
Oh man.
Well, why do you think when they do Brazilian waxes, they go all the way back? It's normal.
The butt
Yeah.
strip.
It's normal, guys.
You know what? take care of it.
Tomorrow
Get it going.
we're tanning our balls and we're going to get waxes.
We're all
I'm
going to
down.
get Brazilians.
Do you guys brush your teeth about how many times a day?
Twice.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes
Twice?
3.
This person said, I've heard people say they don't brush their teeth before bed. Another person, a couple swipes up. I know someone that doesn't brush their teeth before bed because they're just going to do it again in the morning.
Nah. When I was last at the dentist, he said, "How old are you?" And I said, "Almost 30." He said, "Well, keep doing what you're doing because your teeth are perfect."
Wow.
And I brush twice a day. I floss once a day.
Yeah.
That is
And
high
Morgan
praise.
says, "You're doing it too hard. You're doing it too fast. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong." And then you got the professional that's like, "Keep doing what you're doing." So
You
I'm very
are-
conflicted.
You're very aggressive. I actually had a dentist tell me this once, and maybe we have some out there listening that can chime in. But he said brushing your teeth at night is actually the most important because as you're sleeping, your respiration rate changes and you have more CO2 in your mouth. And it actually can increase the bacteria activity. And that's,
Very interesting.
yeah, so it's like most important to brush before bed.
I can't fall asleep if I don't brush my teeth.
Yeah, I've gotten to that point.
I've gotten to the point where I've done it with my finger and toothpaste before out of absolute desperation. And you just swish it around and do whatever you can. But I have to, always,
Do you floss in the morning or at night?
at night. But like if we run out of floss and we have to get floss tomorrow at the store, that's fine. Like whatever.
You're okay with
Brushing,
skipping
though?
a day.
Yeah, but brushing is essential.
Just feel like my day cannot get started until you brush your teeth.
100%.
Do you swallow your toothpaste?
No, that's you're
No.
not supposed to.
That's how you end up in the poison control center.
So this person says people swallowing their toothpaste when they brush is a gross hygiene take. Who does that? There's
I mean, hopefully you're
particles and
using a
stuff.
toothpaste with fluoride and you're not supposed to swallow that.
That's another big debate right now, though. Fluoride not really being any good for you.
But if you ask dentists, let's poll dentists. I want to poll dentists and say, okay,
My dental hygienist isn't a big fluoride person. She actually believes in this all natural brand, Dr. Jen's.
Just do what I'm doing. Okay?
My teeth are weak and soft. They're British
Justin's
in nature.
getting 5 stars on hygiene.
I know.
You don't
Yeah,
need to
you
ask
really-
He's
any
actually
dentist.
pretty good.
Ask me. I don't have no fillings. Like I don't do any of that. Don't get drilled.
Do you wash your hands when you change your tampon or use a pad?
yeah,
If you did use them?
yeah.
This person says, I know someone who never washes when they insert a tampon or change their used pad. That's
Just
bad. That's
why wouldn't you?
That's
you're
blood.
so and you're also like
touching.
going to the bathroom at that time, typically.
True. Yeah.
So you would be washing your hands anyway. And sometimes it gets messy.
It is actually crazy how many people, as I'm scrolling through this, I've probably had at least 20 talk about how gross it is for guys to not dab with toilet paper when they pee. Like, it keeps coming up.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Neither did I.
Oh my God.
Matt's going to try it.
Very, very, like, we all have very shared experiences. I love this. We all are coming across these bad, gross hygiene takes.
Nothing about deodorant, though.
Ooh, I haven't seen one about deodorant yet.
That's because it's just a given.
It should
It's
be.
shocking that you have to bring it up.
We were recently on an airplane,
Oh my gosh.
and the person next to us it was horrendous.
Same.
The BO.
We had someone in front of us
And
recently on a flight.
There's nothing. Can you really do anything about that?
No.
You're on a plane. You're stuck next to the person. You
Hope to
saying
God you have a
something.
mask.
We had to
Yeah.
put masks on because it was so bad. And I actually like started chewing gum, so the gum would go like peppermint up my nose in the mask. Like it was horrendous.
Some girl was losing her mind too. She
it
was just yelling. She was making comments.
who smell like
Oh,
my
really?
God,
It was
shower,
so bad that
shower.
People were getting mad. Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm not going to embarrass someone. Like that's
No.
not me. But like, it was one of the worst smells ever. It was
Because-
so bad.
I think we also need to touch on the fact that a lot of your personal hygiene can be tied to your mental health. Like, yep,
Yeah.
you feel a lot better when you're taking care of it, but also when you're suffering with your mental health, doing those basic hygiene things can be really, really difficult.
Oh my
True.
God.
So we don't.
True.
Yeah.
You don't know.
I've gone 5 days without showering because I was just like too sad.
Yeah.
Didn't have the energy. Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
My hair was in knots. Didn't brush it. I was over it.
I feel like the shower is like the one place that should make you happy if you're sad.
But if you
just
don't
gotta
have
get
like
there.
the energy
mine.
to
It's
get
energy,
there,
yeah.
that's I
Just like,
think where it really comes up. And then you think about all the things. It's a lot of energy to scrub your arms and your feet and your
Yeah,
etc.
you just let the
Right.
water roll
No, it's
down
not.
off you.
Nope. It's a lot harder to do anything else the rest of the day.
I used to be a once a day shower before kids, and then I had kids, and I was lucky to shower 1 to 2 times a week. Because when you have the baby, like it's just so much more work, and you're putting so much more work into taking care of this little creature that will cry and be like so angry if you
Mhm.
are not paying attention to them. Like, I put the baby in the bouncer outside of the shower, and then you hop in the shower and you have to like rush and do that while they're just screaming outside the shower in the bathroom. It's not a relaxing experience at that point.
Baby's going to be screaming. I'm showering.
And sometimes just the days like turn into, you don't even realize how long has gone on until you look at your armpit hair and you're like, oh, look at that. I know I shave my armpits every single time I shower, and I feel like that's a little longer than it usually is.
Damn.
Yep.
Damn.
And then now that the kids are older,
You're back on track.
I'm now like a 3 times a week shower every other day.
I can't get behind that. I have to shower before bed because I don't want to get into my bed
Same.
dirty. And it just feels nice to be in the sheets all
Well,
clean.
it's
You
too
guys are
hot.
meant to be together.
It's too hot in LA to do an every other day. And we're out in dirty ass horse stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just, you come in and you feel like there's a layer of dirt on you.
And it will
And
clarify.
I would not be able to get in bed.
Yeah. This is like, I'm not working out. I'm going to work. I'm
Yeah.
making dinner for my kids, and I'm going to bed. There's not a whole lot of that physical activity that's
Yeah.
going on.
Well, this is interesting. This person goes, this is from New Girl, but, quote, why do you need to wash your towel if it cleans you? And our little brother tonight admitted he's been using the same shower towel for like 3 weeks now. And that seems a little long to me.
So, I mean, I'm going to ask the same question that he did is like, if you are clean, you are scrubbing your feet in the shower and you scrub all the places, you have right? And then you rinse and you're sitting there in the hot water and then you shut the water off, you dry off. Your towel is only wet, which should be clean water. I don't really see the problem with utilizing that a couple of times, 3-4 times, and then I would throw mine into the laundry. But 3 months seems excessive. But again, if it's only clean water, it's hard to be like, I don't know.
But clean water also will make black mold in your house. If it's only clean water, it can still get moldy. I think it's things that repetitively get wet and do not have the time to adequately dry will develop some sort of bacteria or mold or something, because if you use towels too long,
Why is your towel not drying?
it starts to stink.
And
It
there's
just
still
does.
like
Try
skin
it.
cells in
Try
there
it.
that as you rub off, you're going to get skin cells deposited in the fibers. And also the bacteria and the mold, they're always there. We live in it.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like we can't live in a sterile environment. It's not good for us to live in a completely sterile environment for our immune system to, continue to work. I don't know. I think that's why I don't get. Yes, hygiene is good.
Well, I don't
But-
think clean water, I don't think is as clean as you think it is. It's not like distilled, purified, boiled water that you're wiping off yourself.
It's coming out of the ground.
Look at the water under a microscope. There's things in there, living things, a lot of them.
Sure.
And I think when they build up or when they die and things start eating them like mold, I think you end up with something that is not clean.
So what is the appropriate number for towels to be reused? How many showers is one towel good for?
My guess is I would say
1.
3. Yeah, you make too much laundry for me.
Well, according to the American Cleaning Institute, they recommend washing towels every 3 or 4 uses. But survey shows that most people reuse them at least 5 times, apparently without any serious consequences. I use mine probably about 5 times, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
like, you know, it's feeling a little too damp today. It's not fully drying. It's done.
Okay.
That's also a little bit of the question. Like, okay, what are the consequences of not? Like, are you getting skin infections?
I think the
see
towel
that.
starts to stink, and then when you use a stinky towel, I've done it before, and you smell it on you after.
Sure.
And then nobody wants that.
No, nobody wants to stink.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for submitting. There is one last one I want to read, and then we're moving along. But this person shares that it's okay to change your baby out in a restaurant on the table. I've seen this happen in front of me. I actually just saw this recently. Someone's restaurant just got in trouble in LA. Like one of the Vanderpump Rules restaurants got in trouble for letting a baby get changed up on their bar. A health code person came in.
I feel like that's a health violation.
That's nasty.
But they should have baby changing stations in both men's and women's bathrooms. And if I were to
Yes.
also choose, like if I had to choose a baby or change a baby at a table, I would do it on the chair, not on top of the table.
Yeah.
True.
Even
Yeah.
if you put a blanket down over the table.
What if you don't cover enough and they quickly pee on you?
Well, I also kind of think it's a little bit in my brain, like baby privacy too.
I used to work at a Perkins, so I've seen a lot of shit.
Oh, have we ever? Man, Perkins was wild. Wild. Okay, I'm giving you guys a choice on this last one. Option number 1, am I the asshole for standing firm on my lack of hygiene and choosing my cat over my boyfriend? Or am I the asshole for telling coworkers they smell of unwashed pussy after her and some other colleagues constantly made jokes that we smell of unwashed balls?
Both are very intriguing.
Let's have a vote for choosing cat over boyfriend because of bad hygiene. Anyone?
I'm going to go with number 2. Because I giggled.
Number 2.
Because I giggled immediately during the title.
One more time for us all. It's vintage. It's 5 years old. Coming from Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for telling coworkers they smell of unwashed pussy after her and some other colleagues constantly make jokes that we smell of unwashed balls? My colleagues and I work at a very physically demanding job, which, amongst other things, also involves pools and lifeguarding. Because of that, we have showers located at work, and we are constantly getting sweaty and grimy and need to wash off to attend to other duties and be presentable. Whenever we finish dry wrecking, which is basically us attending to whatever dry inside cleanups, not pool related, we are expected to shower. Before you do that, you go into the staff room to collect your personal belongings like towels, etc. Our female colleagues started to yell at us at one point when summer got super hot, saying, quote, "You smell of unwashed balls. Go shower." And other stuff that's pretty similar. We get called gross. Some girls actually started to physically push us out of the staff room in order to try and get us to not stink up the place. Like, yeah, we know we smell, but we are literally going in to grab towels and leave, not stand around and have a chat. This has become a near daily occurrence, and frankly, it's so fucking annoying to walk into the staff room and immediately there's a group of girls making faces and gagging when you've literally just entered. Last week, 3 of the girls had gone to attend to dry side activities, which meant that when they came back, they were covered in sweat and grime too. We work at an Olympic facility and we have to put in a lot of physical work in the heat. So yeah, it's bad. And so jokingly, I said, quote, ew, smells like unwashed pussy. Go shower. One of the girls who was the most vocal about us smelling got super offended and started mouthing off that I was an asshole. A lot of the other guys, some whom I don't even freaking talk to, joined in and said, yeah, go shower. Don't you tell us to leave the room as soon as we get in? 2 of them took it well and laughed, but the third has been telling everyone and anyone about it all day. My boss just shrugged and told her if she could dish it, she can take it. So I'm not worried about being in trouble at work, but I just want to know if I'm the asshole.
The whole time you were reading it, I was like, gosh, they are really bullying these people. And yeah, if they can dish it, they need to be able to take it.
Yeah.
Maybe it would put a stop to it and have them have some understanding.
I kind of like it. What are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
it feels just to me. I think if the same thing you're doing to someone really hurts when you receive it, then it's a taste of your own medicine, as they say.
Yeah.
And if you can't handle that, then hopefully the problem is with that third person, I don't think they will learn the lesson. If you're taking it to the boss and like you're that offended, then they won't see the other side,
I'm
which
curious.
is unfortunate.
I was just curious as to how old these individuals are, and it feels young to me. It feels
Feels young 20s.
It feels immature.
yeah,
High schooler, teenager-ish.
high school, teenager-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no mention of age in the post. Going and looking at OP's accounts, like for comments, the account has been suspended. I don't see any ages in the post. But before I read the top comment, what do you think the overall vote on this one was?
I would have said not the asshole. You asking the question makes me feel like people are mad at him, but yeah, I don't know.
Same.
Yeah.
You think asshole?
Not the asshole.
Yeah, I would have said that too. Like, do I wish OP and like the other guys would have gone to HR and reported this harassment? Yes, but they didn't. And so I think popping off once and dishing it back, like you messed with the bull, you get the horns. Is it the most politically correct for our society and how we try to like respect others now? No, but they've been harassing these guys for weeks, maybe months. Like, not fair, not okay. He said it one time. I hope it teaches them a lesson. The overall vote on this one was everyone sucks.
Ah.
They all suck.
Yeah.
They're all assholes.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Top comment is everyone sucks. If you don't like it, it doesn't make it okay for you to do it back just because they did it first. Honestly, I don't even have to tell my 6-year-old this. And OP responded, fair enough.
Sometimes you have to, though. There's situations in life where you have to be petty and do it. It just happens.
I didn't even realize that everyone sucks was an option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always lurking
no
out there
assholes
somewhere.
here.
Here we are, 11 episodes in, and
OP does start to get some, not the assholes though. So does come in. Someone says, that same person actually, thanks for taking that in stride though. Definitely don't condone the harassment. Try not to stoop to that level. Speak to them or your boss about it. Good luck to you. And OP just goes, I came here to hopefully be a better person. Give me insight on what to do if there's ever a next time. And someone says, you're kind of required to be an asshole. Without you, the world would be a dark place. You aren't the asshole we need, but the asshole we deserve.
I love that. So I feel like the manager or the boss must have known that this has been going on though, because if he was just like, oh, well,
You can dish it, but you can't take it.
right, then they must know that it was going on. So then that is like, okay, well, why hasn't that boss stepped in and been like, hey, girls, knock it off?
Yeah, it's interesting. And it's also kind of like you're putting your employee in this position to get harassed because of their job and they smell and whatever. Like, why not separate locker rooms for staff? Like, I don't know. Like, it just doesn't seem like the most healthy work environment. And you're fostering this harassment. And it's honestly, it's kind of concerning that he was just like, well, you can dish it. And it's like, well, okay, let's have actually, now that this is really becoming an issue, let's have a group meeting and get everyone together. And like, you guys all are going to be sweating and getting hot and whatever. Like, hygiene is important. You're clearly showering after dry side activities. Let's not harass people because everyone has those same duties, you know, like grow up.
Yeah.
Like, have a team meeting, be a good manager. Like, hygiene is important in all areas of life, especially work. If you're, you know, doing stuff like this and sweating.
Maybe they're just hoping that, okay, had this one comment, it's going to put the kibosh on it and kill it.
Hopefully.
And not have to go through all those steps and make it a bigger thing than what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Hygiene's crazy. Hygiene's crazy, y'all.
Keep yourself clean, y'all.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be
Shower.
crazy.
Scrub a dub
Deodorant,
dub.
doesn't
brush
have
your
to.
teeth,
Rub a dub scrub.
wipe your ass appropriately.
Yeah.
All those good things.
Tap your tip with a piece of TP if you're a dude. After you pee.
There we go.
I like it.
Got to try it now.
Yeah, report back how it goes.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being on this episode
I know.
with us, you guys.
This was really
very
fun.
enlightening,
This is good.
very vulnerable.
That's
Talking
fun. It
about
was
all
great.
these hygiene practices.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you guys for listening and being with us today.
Be sure to like, follow, subscribe. We appreciate you.
Subscribe, everybody. Matt and Amy are really getting into the flow of things. I feel like your episodes, like all the clips I see and repost are so good. So
Oh, thanks.
be sure to keep checking them out.
We're trying. We're
not just
trying.
the
And be
episodes
sure to
we're
write
on.
in. All right.
Yeah.
All right. We've already
Yeah.
done a few write-ins. So
I love that.
Yes.
thank you, everyone.
How can they write in?
You can find that on our Instagram page. There's a link there,
Okay.
and it'll take you right to a Google form. You can write in about anything you want,
I love that.
whatever
We
you want
had
to know.
our first write-in we featured on our resentment episode, and it was so good.
I
Nice.
love that.
Yeah, that was actually probably one that we had the best feedback on.
I love
So,
that.
mhm.
Yay.
Yeah,
Well, thank you for having us.
awesome.
Thanks for joining. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.